Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3545. Today's date is 19th of August 2025. It's been almost like morning at 8:02 a.m. Okay, all right. Let's just jump into the question. All right. Okay. Yeah. Question is okay. When someone asks me how much I earn, I feel okay. What exactly is this question? Okay, this question is actually about that ki when someone asks you that how much money that you earn, how do you feel? It's a very common question, and let's just understand step by step. Alright, yeah. So when someone asks me how much money do I earn, how do I supposed to be feel on that moment? And whatever I feeling, what is the actually reason for that? Okay. Um Okay, we are humans, okay? And we are a social animal, and basically is this thing that ki whatever others gonna do, it actually influence us somewhat somewhere. What exactly is this thing? What is actually influence and things like that? Um, okay, just okay. Let's just trying to tell you little bit. Okay, yeah. So imagine that ki, all your friends got a job and you didn't really get a job. Like right now situation, okay, yeah, all my friends have a job and I didn't really have a job. So I'm not earning any money at the moment. So how do I feel? I feel something really left out. I feel something that ki I don't really have values and things like that, right? But what if like all your friend doesn't really have any job and you don't really have any job too? Then how do you feel? Uh, Not really that much left out, right? It's the same thing. Okay, like basically is this thing our decisions are actually are influenced by looking at surrounding situation. Means like that ki um okay. Let me tell you from the beginning so that you might gonna understand a little bit better. Okay, yeah. So when we are kind of like a simply try to survive on this planet, we can't, because we can't run fast, we can't fly, we can't do anything that animal can do, and we are very vulnerable regarding about safety. So the only chance that we could supposed to be survive in this wilderness is kind of like a somebody stay together. Stay together means what? Like basically one human and another human are kind of like a somebody stay together and they will gonna protect each other. Okay, so since then humans are kind of like a started living together. They are started living in a camps and things like that. Okay, yeah. um, why? Because of that, the obvious reason is the safety, because when they are combined together they will be more secure, and when they will be more secure, then it's kind of like a something that the probability of surviving on this planet would become really higher. Okay, yeah. So since then we are started living together. Okay, yeah. So when we are living together, we have some certain things to do. Means like that ki um like basically when we are started living together, we are kind of like a try to understand each other. We are try to evolve each other. What is actually understand and evolve? Understanding means like that ki our brain are meant to be evolved. Okay, yeah. Like it meant to be kind of like a upgradation. Okay, it meant to be kind of like a somebody that ki always hunger for new information. Okay, yeah. When we are started living together, we are try to know about each other, and we are try to know about our surrounding situation too. We create stories, we talk about what happened when we went to the hunting or things or that. Okay, yeah. Not only we are sharing thoughts and information, we are also kind of like a simply um, creating families. Okay, yeah. We have babies, wife, and things like that. We understand the meaning of life, that ki we born here, we have to marry with someone else, we have to make babies, and yeah. So this is kind of like a cycle happen. Okay, yeah. Because of we are kind of like a living together for like thousands of millions of year, we are try to be kind of like a create some sort of emotions inside of us. That emotion is envy. Okay, yeah. Like basically when we are kind of like a something um, something really that ki had enough power so that we not even kind of like a somebody survive in wilderness, but we have kind of like a create a such a power that we are humans are kind of like a scared of other humans too. Okay, yeah. And this is what kind of like a creates some sort of kind of like a something envy or things like that. Okay, yeah. Means like that ki we are not kind of like a something uh, believing other person. Okay, yeah. The fact, the first thing that we kind of like a brought together is that ki provide the safety, provide kind of like a something that ki believe that particular person will gonna provide me that safety and things like that. But after thousands of year, people are kind of like a something really scared of each other, that ki that other person might gonna kill me or things or that or that. So people are actually living groups. Okay, this group, this group, this group, this group. Okay, yeah. So when multiple part of, like let's just say imagine a camp. Okay, where is 100 people over there, and there is a different camp which is kind of like 100 people over there. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, they have some sort of clashes, they don't really believe in themselves, they don't really believe in each other. They always kind of like a somebody always fighting regarding about everything. Okay, yeah. And since then war is started. Okay, yeah, because at this moment we don't really have danger from wilderness. No, we have created some sort of weapons and things like that. But we are kind of like a simply scared for each other as a humans. Okay, we kind of like a simply scared that the another camp of people might gonna kill us or might be kind of like a something hurt us or things like that. So before that happened, we should supposed to be kill them. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like a something the envy or kind of like a something the disbelief is actually happened. Okay, yeah. One thing. Another thing is that he humans are actually evolved not only just one place on the planet. They actually evolved multiple places on the planet. Let's just kind of like a early civilization, Africa, then then Indian civilization, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa. These are also civilization. Mayan civilization in South America, Mesopotamia civilization in Europe. Okay, Chinese civilization in China. Okay, these are kind of like some sort of civilization is actually established. Okay, people are started living and things like that. Okay, yeah. And basically is this thing, all those civilization is actually far away from each other. They became very different person. Means like that ki let's just say Indian civilization and Chinese civilization. The Indian civilization, the way that they do, the way that they work is completely different than Chinese civilization, the way that they do and way that they work. Okay, yeah. Not only this, but their thought process also change. Okay, yeah. Like basically the Indian civilization believes that ki, God is exist and they are kind of like a meant to be do something better for us. Okay, yeah. but the Chinese civilization didn't really think that way. They just think might be there is no god exist or things like that. Whatever, what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, different civilization is actually happened. So when different civilization is actually established in different part of the world, it's kind of like a something, there is some sort of changes, not only change in thought process but change in physical appearance too. Look at the Chinese people, they look a little bit different. Look at the Indian people, they look different. Look at the European people, they look a little bit of white. Look at the African people, South American people. I'm not counting the North America because there is no human exist in North America. So basically, yeah. So each civilization is kind of like assembly very looks very differently. Okay, yeah. And this is all actually happened because of that key. They are people who are actually different part of the planet. Okay, they have different temperature, weathers, and things like that. Okay, yeah. What I'm trying to tell you is this thing, there is a far more difference happen between same species. As a human, we are kind of like a same species, like a, even if I'm gonna say Indian, Chinese, African, European, whatever it is, we are human. In the end, we are human, but we do work and we look something very different. Okay. Now, what exactly is this thing that um, we are like a, since we kind of like a something believe that other humans might not be something good for our existence, because up until this point we didn't really scared of wilderness, we are actually scared of other humans. Okay, yeah. So other civilization might gonna impact on things and that, so might gonna kill me or might gonna kill us. So before that we should supposed to be kill them. So we started doing war. Okay, and things and that. So what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, we are humans and we are kind of like a something, our brain and our civilization and our entire evolution is actually based on each other. Okay. Yeah, like a, we and other humans are connected with each other. Look at around yourself. You are might be somewhere city or village or whatever it is. There is a people around you. You're not living in jungle, you're not living in kind of like some wilderness area. There is might be some sort of person who is actually living in that particular places for some sort of purpose, but mostly you are prefer to live within a kind of like some people around you. Okay, yeah. Why is because of that, from the thousands of year we are kind of like a something nourished by that particular process, and we are kind of like a became habitual to living with each other. And this is not only best for us, but it's actually best for our human civilization too, because we sharing information, thought process, and things like that. Yes, we are also kind of like a creating disbelief, and we also kind of like a create some sort of war in between them or in between us. But it's kind of like a things that we don't really have a choice. We just, it's the only thing that we should supposed to be kind of like a something evolved, and we should supposed to be kind of like a something that sometimes evolve doesn't means that growth, sometimes evolve means like that destruction too. Okay, yeah. And this is what it is this. Okay, yeah. So basically is that when we are started living each other, um we are kind of like something influenced by each other. Okay, yeah. And when we are kind of like influenced by each other, we just something very like we just wanted to be part of the crowd. What do you mean by part of the crowd? Let's just say that you are in classroom. Okay, yeah. And basically the teacher who is kind of like a somebody serving everyone as a candy. Okay, yeah, but you don't really get the candy. How do you feel? You feel very bad, right? You don't really get the candy. Another example, you are in the classroom and teacher asks you stand up and kind of like a somebody ask you a question and you have to give the answer. Okay, you are bitterly hesitate to give the answer. You, it's not meant to be that you don't know the answer, you knew that answer, but problem is that you are kind of like a something that stand, everyone is actually sitting. So there is a kind of like a sort of difference between us and them, as we are humans and we are kind of like a somebody wanted to be part of the crowd. And at this moment we are not part of the crowd. Like everyone is kind of like a looking at us and things like that. So this is what kind of like a somebody feels little bit left out. Okay, yeah, because everyone is actually sitting and I'm just standing. So indirectly, the teacher asked some sort of questions. I knew that particular answer, but I am bitterly hesitant to give the answer because, like, it's kind of like a somebody feel little bit of dangers and things like that. And when our mind thinks like that, it's a danger. It's a kind of like a somebody. It kind of like a locked you in every possible way. That key, if there is a danger situation, then let's just not to say something things like that. Wagera wagera wagera. So even if you know any kind of like some answer, you might not give a proper answer when teacher asks you, because you are stand in front of entire class and basically, yeah, you are kind of like at that moment you feel a little bit of left out. So what exactly is this thing? You actually experience this thing. It's not really that key. You don't really experience that. Like you are like, let's just another example that key. You are kind of like doing a job in some sort of amount, some sort of company. Okay, yeah. Everyone gets the promotion. You don't really get the promotion. How do you feel? Okay, yeah. You feel something left out. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. We are humans and we are wanted to be always part of the crowd. Okay, yeah. Directly, indirectly, yes. We are always wanted to be part of the crowd. We don't want to be kind of like do something very rational or things or anything at all. No, we just wanted to be kind of like play safe and kind of like do the everything that we should supposed to be do. And this is what kind of like a some progress happened. This is what kind of like a somebody the human is actually evolved with each other. Okay, yeah. Now regarding about the question says that okay, how do you feel when someone asks you how much money that you earn? Well, in this particular situation, when someone asks you regarding about money, it means that the money that you are earning is not exactly the money that everyone is earning, right? Yeah, like basically you are living in kind of like a simply people neighbors, and let's just imagine that ki you have almost like a maybe earning 10,000 rupees. Okay, yeah, which is kind of like a simply very less. But would you kind of like a simply tell them that ki I'm earning 10,000 rupees? No, I would not. Like, yeah, I would kind of like a lie them. I would kind of say them that I'm earning almost like a 25,000 rupees. Why did you say that thing? Is because of that ki you wanted to be pretend as a part of the crowd, and you are the part of the crowd. It's not really that you are not part of the crowd, but you are kind of like somebody that ki feel little bit of guilty that ki why I'm not really part of the crowd. And why I'm saying this thing is because of that ki at your neighborhood everyone is actually earning 25 to 30,000 rupees and you are not earning that much. So you are kind of like a lying and things like that. You still not really experience, na? Let's just imagine. Okay, yeah, maybe it actually happened in your surrounding situation, but yeah, in your neighbor, someone neighbors actually bought you car. Okay, bought the car. Okay, yeah, and you also wanted to be bought the car too. Okay, yeah, like your colleague is actually kind of like a went to some sort of vacation at Bali or anywhere. You also wanted to go there. Okay, yeah, because as we are kind of like somebody influenced by each other, and it is very much true. Okay, yeah. So when someone is actually asking how much money that you earn, we are kind of like a lie because of that key whatever the kind of like a somebody the actual number is not really kind of like a somebody associate with a part of the crowd. Okay, yeah. Also, it is also work on kind of like a somebody such a thing where you are earning too much. Like let's just say that ki you are earning like a lakh in rupees. Okay, yeah, let's just say you have almost like a 24 lakh of package. That means you are earning 2 lakh rupees per month. Okay, yeah. So if you are earning 2 lakh rupees of month and your entire neighborhood is actually earning maybe 30 to 40 or 50,000 rupees, you might gonna say that ki I'm actually earning 50,000 rupees, but you are earning more than that. But still, why are you kind of like somebody consider yourself as a kind of like a part of the crowd? Is because of that it's a human nature. That's why most of the kind of like a politician are kind of like a hiding their real wealth what they have. And this is what it is. It's a kind of like somebody the human nature always wanted to be a part of the crowd and things like that. All right, yeah. But also another thing, okay, yeah, this is what kind of like some human psychology work regarding about how much money that I earn or how much, okay, yeah. But when we talk about the salary, then salary is a very different game, okay, yeah. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Most of the people are actually judged by how much money that you have, okay, yeah. What do you mean by how much money that you have? Okay, let's just imagine, okay, yeah, not imagine, let's just look at your surrounding situation, observe, okay. Like you have to be observe, and when you observe things you're gonna learn more and more, okay, yeah. What is actually this thing? Whatever the money that you are earning is representation of how much credibility that you have, right? Like let's just say that you are earning 1 lakh rupees per month. That means you have bigger credibility. Credibility means like that like the value of you, okay, means like that um, value of you means like that means like how much value that you have, how much value that you are providing, educational value, information value, or any kind of like value. The value is actually represented throughout by work, okay, yeah. Whatever the work that we do and things like that, the value, okay, yeah, the value that you are kind of like creating inside is because of education, is because of experience, okay, yeah. So when you have less education, you have less experience. When you have less experience, you will gonna kind of like simply have less credibility. And when you have less credibility, you are earning less amount of money, okay, yeah. So when you are earning less amount of money, it kind of like represent on you are earning less amount of salary, okay. It's all connected, okay, yeah. And it's a perception, okay. It's almost like a 90% of the people who thinks and they judge people according to their salaries, okay, yeah. Let's just say there is a doctor who is actually earning 1 lakh rupees salary. We are kind of like looking at them very like very kind of like a respected way. First of all, his profession is a kind of like a saving people, so that is really good. Another thing is that he's earning really good amount of money, so that is also really good. So we are actually look at them a very kind of like a very respected way, okay, yeah. But when you are kind of like a look at a kind of like a somebody, the worker who is actually working in construction company, you don't really have that much respect towards that worker. By the way, he is making that building, and that building is kind of like a meant to be people can live over there, but we don't really have that much respect, okay, yeah. So what exactly is this thing? How is this kind of like a salary is kind of like a, I don't know about that particular thing, but we are humans and we are kind of like a somebody always kind of like a judge regarding about how much money that they earn, okay. Let's just say that I am a doctor, I'm earning 1 lakh rupees salary, my credibility is good, okay, yeah. If I'm kind of like a lawyer and I'm earning almost like a maybe 35 or 50,000 rupees, my credibility is also a little bit good, okay. It's not really that good, but it's good, okay, yeah. Let's just say that I am kind of like a somebody, the worker who is earning 10 or 15,000 rupees, my credibility is little bit low, okay, yeah. Let's just say I am politician and I have like a 1 million and 2 billion 2 million amount of money, okay, $2 million and things like that, a lot of money. How much credibility do I have? Well, in this particular situation, you will have big credibility, but credibility depends on position, okay. What exactly is this thing? That you are politician, that means you have so much amount of money, okay, yeah. So if you are not really like basically okay, yeah. We do not talk about kind of like a politician is a completely bad way, but I will not gonna go there, okay, regarding about how much the politicians actually earn money and things like that. Let's just talk about just the credibility regarding about the questions perspective, okay, yeah. So when there is a kind of like a politician, so you will have also very big credibility that in inside of you that this is the politician and this that. Now there is a criminal, okay, yeah, and who has so much amount of money too, yeah, so much amount of money too. but he has very less credibility, like a even lesser than worker. He has so much amount of money, like a millions and dollar and things like that, but still we actually kind of like consider as a very less credibility. Why? Is because of that ki the credibility is actually depend on how much money that you are earning. That is good, but also depend on a right way to earn money, not a wrong way. If you are earning a right way to earn money, your credibility is really good. If you are using a wrong way to earn money, then that your credibility is really wrong. So most of the criminal are kind of like a looking like a kind of like somebody very stupid or kind of like somebody very poor, but like you actually seen that like most of the criminal, they looks kind of like somebody very just, they came from like African kind of like a things, but they are very rich person. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, yeah. So regarding about the question, okay, yeah, when someone asks that ki how much money that you earn, how do you feel? What is actually your opinion? What is actually is this thing? My reality situation is that I'm not earning any money. I am living with my parents. I am 32 and I'm doing YouTube. I have 1500 subscriber. Okay, yeah. And in Instagram I have 13,000 follower, and I'm not really earning any money. By the way, I didn't really tell them that ki this is all this thing. Okay, yeah. When someone asks how much money that I earn, how does I feel? Like throughout my entire life, I realized that ki kind of like a simply the pretending is not a kind of like a simply solution for me. Okay, yeah. So, but I also understand who is that particular person, and that particular person does really genuine or not. Example, okay, you went to wedding, and there is a couple of people like just relatives and things like that, and he just say what kind of like a job that you do, how much money that you earn. Okay, yeah. So regarding about when they ask the question, they didn't really ask the question regarding about they want to know you. No, they are kind of like a somebody try to kind of like a talk, and they don't really have any kind of like a somebody topic to talk. So they just kind of like a mention this thing. Okay, kind of like a somebody, oh, what's going on? Okay, okay, what kind of like a job that you're doing and things like that. So basically this thing, when they ask this question, is not meant to be kind of like a somebody they wanted to know and they wanted to kind of like a genuine kind of like a things and that. No, they just wanted to have a conversation, and they didn't really find any kind of like a topic, so they just kind of like a brought that thing ki, oh, okay, so how much that you are earning money and things like that. So when I am in that particular situation, I was kind of like a somebody tell them that I am doing what is the actually word for that? uh, uh, I just forgot that word. That word is like cloud, no, digital marketing, no. Uh, uh, it's just kind of like a somebody, you take the work from online and do the work for them. Servicing, cloud servicing, no. Self servicing, no. What is actually is this thing? Freelancing, yeah, freelancing. Sorry, I just completely forget that word. Freelancing. Okay, I'm just kind of like a tell them I'm doing the freelancing. Okay, yeah. So most of people are not really understand what is actually meaning of the freelancing. Okay, yeah. Also I kind of like a judge that who is that particular person. Like basically it's this thing. There is a old age person whose age is almost like a 65, and he just asked me how much kind of like a money that how much money that you are earning. Okay, so when there is a older person and he just kind of like a talk regarding about this thing, I judge that particular old man says that ki like kind of like a understand that ki this particular person just want to have a conversation. One thing, another thing is that ki they just want to be kind of like a somebody talk and things like that. Okay, yeah. So in that particular situation, I would kind of like a somebody say this thing, I am kind of like a doing a job in particular company, that's it. That's it. Okay, yeah. And basically he just convinced. Okay, yeah. Because at that time, if you're gonna tell them that "Okay, I'm doing this YouTube and things and that, he doesn't really have any intention to kind of like a know you that you are doing this and that. No, you just kind of like say this thing, yeah, I'm doing a job, that's it. Okay, yeah. And he will definitely gonna stop. Almost like a 95% of the people will gonna stop over there and they will gonna say, yeah, okay, that's it. Okay, yeah. Okay, but there is 5% of people who really wants to know that ki, okay, what kind of like a job that you do. Okay, yeah. Now, in this particular situation, that particular person is really genuinely care for me. They wanted to know me. Okay, yeah. And in that particular situation, you have to tell them that, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and that, and that, that. Okay, yeah. But most of the kind of like a things is kind of like only based on that key, yeah, I'm doing a job. Okay, yeah. Also, let me tell you one thing. Um, I'm living in India. I'm not really sure about this is relevant to the rest of the world, but I'm living in India, and what kind of like a something that what I experience. Okay, yeah. So when I was doing a job in particular company, okay, yeah. So when someone asks that key, what kind of like a what kind of like a job that you do, I'm gonna say I am a design engineer. I'm a CAD modeler, computer aided design modeler, and things like that. Okay, yeah. Most of people don't really understand and things like that. And when I'm saying this thing, it just kind of like is a genuine word. It doesn't really have any proud word. Okay, what's a proud word? Proud means like that ki you are being really proud to say that thing ki what you gonna do. Okay, yeah. So let's just say that ki you are doing a kind of like a something, just a CAD engineer. Okay, yeah. You might not gonna like you will feel proud for someone who could understand what is actually CAD engineering and things like that. But most of people don't really understand, so you just say I'm just an engineer and things like that. But let's just say you are kind of like a simply um, work in railway. Okay, Indian railway. Okay, yeah. Whatever the job, yeah, that you do. Okay, maybe TC or whatever it is. Okay, yeah. When another person asks you what kind of like a job that you do, you are so proud to say I'm working in railway. Oh, you are working in railway. Okay, yeah. And what? Oh, I'm TC. Yeah. So basically, in this particular situation, you are proud to say that what I do. Okay, yeah. Because in India, doing a government job considered to be a very respected job. Okay, yeah. And yeah, getting the government job is also really difficult. But when you get that job, you are not only get the respect from surrounding a situation, but you also get respect from yourself because you already got the government job. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing, there is a very less people who gonna say I am the chairman of this company, but you are not really proud when you say that I'm the chairman of this company, but you are so proud to say that ki I am like a kind of like a something the IS person. Okay, yeah. And basically is this thing, the respect that for IS person and respect for CEO, respect for IS person is bit more higher than chairman of the company. By the way, chairman of the company earn 10 times, like 100 times more than IS. But it's not about just the money, it's about kind of like something the service that they do. And IAS, what's IS? IS is a kind of like something the um, in simple word, it's a kind of like a somebody chief of a particular district. Okay, I means whatever actually happened in the district, that IAS collector officer, IAS is a collector officer, is a kind of like a somebody the chief of that particular district. Okay, that is called IAS. So most of people actually looking at them very respectfully, and not only you actually get that respect, you also kind of like tell that I am IAS, and you also feel really proud to say that I am an IAS person. All right, yeah. Dude, sometimes I just like when did I like I'm actually talking like a kind of like somebody very just like a guru on things like that. I don't know, but this is what kind of like something I feel that way. Yeah. All right. This is it. This is I kind of like a talk about regarding about money and regarding about the profession, whatever it is. So this is it. I should supposed to be end here, and thank you.